Hello, friends. Welcome to today's show. I'm Dr. Helen, founder and Chief Engagement Officer. That would be CEO of Dr. Helen Holton and Associates, and your host for Dr. Helen Speaks: Strengths, Resilience, and Leadership. It's good to be here with you today. It's always good to be here with you, and I look forward to our time together. You bring joy to my day, and it's my hope that we're adding something to yours. As a lifelong learner, it's exciting to share. Yes, to share with you new and interesting insights, perspectives, and learnings because they all matter. They all make a difference in how you show up. And it's just important. It really is. As lifelong learners, we know that you're always on the lookout for something new and or useful to add to integrate into your knowledge base. One of the most significant lessons learned along this journey of leadership is that the most effective leaders are lifelong learners. And who you learn from really matters. It really does. And when you're out here today in the world, trust you me, there are a whole lot of people saying a whole lot of things that aren't necessarily meant for you to incorporate and pull into your realm of reality and what you know to be true. The investment you make in you is for your good. It makes you better, stronger, and more influential as a leader, a more relevant leader. We need more leaders that really understand that the best way for you to lead is by serving others. I think it may have been Maya Angelou or someone who said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I hope you understand how powerful that is to your leadership. People could care less about what you say, what you could be giving them the keys to unlock the treasures of life. If they don't have a sense that you care about them, it may not get their attention. Do you have the opportunity to do what you do best every day? That doesn't mean every day is as great as the rest are, but it means that the majority of them are better than the others. You get the point. I ask this question each week because it's a repetitive habit and practice for your good, to help you make a difference and add value to your life and others that follow you and your leadership. It's a way of bringing maybe the subconsciousness into the consciousness so that you can be more intentional about what you do, why you do what you do. Yes. Well, I'm ready. We've been talking about executive presence. Now, before I step in with the final episode of this series today, I want you to really give yourself permission to let go and be fully present in this moment, to think a little deeper, be more intentional. And whatever you glean out of today's learning, do something with it. Take action. It's not about whether your actions are big or small. It's about you moving forward your agenda. As a leader, as an executive, your presence matters. It really does. So I hope that when you show up here, you're motivated, you're inspired to go the extra mile, to do those things. Number one, engage deeper with you. Focus on new and improved ways to live your life and to serve others. That's the pathway to life-changing results, not only for you, but for the people you lead and the people who follow you. And today on social media, you never know who's following you. So you always want to represent when you get out there and say or do whatever it is you're going to do, because you have the ability to impact people's lives. So before we jump in, make sure you've got something handy to capture your thoughts, questions, ideas, and aha moments, because you'd be surprised at how often you come back to those that you don't take as seriously as you used to. And then one day it's like, I remember hearing that or investigating, looking into that. And look, here I am. It's happening. That's right, because you make it happen. So we're wrapping up our series on executive presence. And here's a question for consideration. Is executive presence something you need to be successful as a leader? I'm going to start out by saying absolutely yes, Y-E-S. Mary Barra, CEO of General Motors, said, the value of executive presence is not in commanding attention, but in inspiring and motivating others to reach their full potential. Think about the people who poured into you along your journey to leadership. None of us have reached this place by ourselves or without someone showing us a way, mentoring us, coaching us, even disciplining us to show up, to be your best. Something to reflect on, to get real with your intention as a leader. Leadership is not for the faint at heart, and it requires that you be clear on what you're really after. Is it fans on social media, or is it the ability to build a legacy where you know you've impacted the lives of people who respect and admire you in a meaningful way? So here are a few reasons to consider as a leader why executive presence matters and how to make it a part of your leadership. You see, executive presence is crucial for leaders. Why? Because it encompasses the qualities and the characteristics that inspire confidence, command respect, and influence others effectively. That's how you build your legacy. That's how you can assess if you're reaching the mark of where you want to be as a leader. Are you leaving the influence and impact? Number one, influence and impact. Leaders with a strong executive presence have a greater ability to inspire and influence others. You have a confident demeanor that when people look at you, when they listen to you, what comes across is effective communication skills. I can't overemphasize that enough. How you speak, what you say, the cadence of you saying it, the volume with which you use. I was told years ago, smile when you speak. It comes through when you speak. Seems simple, and for the most part it is. Who remembers to do it? Think about when you're up against a deadline and you're crunching to get it done and you got your team doing what they're doing and you're just feeling like it's not quite enough. That confidence and demeanor that shows up comes through in how you're communicating. Effective communication helps you to convey your vision and goals and ideas more persuasively. Let's be clear. Persuasion is an important element of effective leaders. It's part of what attracts people to you. Number two, credibility and trust. Executive presence enhances your credibility and helps you build trust among your peers and your subordinates, team members, stakeholders. It demonstrates a competence. It demonstrates your integrity, your authenticity, your ability to be transparent and to show up in your best self. Even maybe you're a little cranky, maybe you're irritated with your team. It's okay to let them know that, but do it in a way that you're building trust, that you're endearing them to you in your most authentic self. In the workplace, it's common sometimes to hide your authenticity behind the politeness of proper titles of how you confront and address your colleagues, because you're really making the distinction that who you are in the workplace is different from who you are in your own skin. They're one and the same. Credibility and trust is what helps you build the relationship you need to, it's a part of what causes people who follow you to follow you and support you as the leader. John Maxwell says, if you call yourself a leader and no one's following you, you're not a leader. You're not a leader. Think about who's following you, who's approaching you for your wisdom, your insights, your support, your mentorship, your referrals. Credibility and trust is what builds that for you. Number 3. Now, this is a biggie, and lately I've been bumping into people as a coach. I've been working with teams and relationship building. Relationship building is one of those things. It may seem like it's a really easy thing to do, but if you're an introvert or an ambivert or a relator, if you're one of these people that it takes you a long time to let people in to build relationships with, that's a trust issue too. But as you develop your executive presence, you'll become better at building strong relationships, which goes back to what I said before. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You'll be more approachable. You'll be more attentive and empathetic. This helps you foster a more positive environment, even beyond work. It could be in social organizations, professional organizations, faith communities, volunteer communities, relationship building. When you're building relationship, collaboration and open communication thrive. Think about it. You're not coming in there just to be you as an island. You're coming in there to connect and to be a part of, to foster that sense of inclusion so that everyone feels like, yes, we're on the team together. And open communication helps you thrive. If you think you're not a good communicator, that's okay. Get help. Take a course. Join Toastmasters. There are all sorts of ways that you can work on your communication. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll become in your own skin as a leader, allowing you to lead with executive presence. Number 4, decision-making. Now, leadership is not easy. I started out saying that. It takes time, it takes grit, it takes resilience, it takes your strengths, it takes being aware of your blind spots. Yeah, all of that. So when we think about decision-making, as an executive, your executive presence empowers you, it should, to be able to stand and make tough decisions with conviction. And doing so with a composed demeanor, an ability to stay calm under pressure. Yes, that's a biggie, staying calm under pressure. Some people may think that you don't care, but when you look beyond that, you're moving things forward because it's backed by your confidence and your judgments that helps you navigate complex situations more effectively. It's not always easy. And it doesn't mean that when you have to make tough decisions that you always make the right decision. However, when you have a conviction behind that decision, when you can speak to your colleagues, your collaborators, those that you're in this situation with together, with a sense of command without being commanding. Yeah. Decision-making. Is executive presence for you? It is if you're a leader. Number 5 is visibility and influence. You're going to get it. Strong executive presence, when you have it, you're more likely to gain visibility and recognition within your team, your organization, your industry. Even as a consultant, your visibility and influence are increased when you show up with an executive presence. It's not just about the suit that you wear, it's about the attitude that you present. This is the visibility that opens doors to opportunities, not your designer suit. Your designer suit might get people to look in your direction, but it's your visibility and how you show up that takes you to the next level. You become the architect that shapes outcomes and strategies. The big picture stuff. Remember, talked about, yeah, sometimes you're going to be in the weeds, but as a leader, you need to really be able to sit high and look at the whole of a situation and not with blinders on, that you miss what's coming on the left or the right. The big picture. Your awareness and conscious development of your executive presence is significantly enhanced when you focus on being visible, not to be seen just because you're in the room, but to be felt and experienced by the people around you. As I thought about this question as a coach, and I'm doing some research now with leaders. So if I haven't reached out to you yet, just know you're coming. You're on my list. How can an executive coach help facilitate your learning, development, and growth of your executive presence? And I love the dynamic between wanting to really improve your executive presence. And we all need someone to do those things that get us out of our comfort zone, help us face our fears and move beyond them, and pursue those stretch goals. If you have a goal that doesn't make you nervous or anxious, your goal isn't big enough. You'll achieve it and say, oh, okay, yeah, what's next? No, you have to feel that what you're going after is going to stretch you. And here's what I love about coaching. I just love it, working, whether it's individuals or teams, is that individual development. Your coach works really closely with you to identify your strengths, areas for improvement. And when I say areas for improvement, this doesn't mean to try to make your weaknesses strengths. No, we're talking about understanding ways to navigate and manage as you're putting some energy towards improving it, but don't spend too much because you're going to take away from showing up as your best self. And you need your strengths to really propel you to achieve your goals. And one-on-one coaching sessions help you do that. What does it do? It provides a personalized session that's designed around your agenda, not the coach's agenda, your agenda. Feedback and tools. I often share tools and books and things with my clients to enhance leadership skills, self-awareness, professional growth. All of those matter. That's a part of your individual development. And what you'll find is that it provides practical strategies, techniques, and resources to be more effective in those areas where you yourself know, I want to be stronger in this area of my life. Number 3, and this is where working with a coach, I always say, coaching is not an overnight 1 or 2 sessions. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm fixed. It's not about fixing you. And it takes time. And that's when we talk about behavioral change. Where a coach comes in is to help you identify and address behaviors and habits that may be hindering your leadership success. We all have, we talked about blind spots, perfect example. of something that if you're not aware of it and you keep wondering, well, why do I keep getting that same response? Hey, maybe it's because there's something you're doing that you don't see. And so a coach can come in without being attached to whatever it is you're going through, but focused on you by providing insights, challenging assumptions, and offering guidance to promote more self-reflection for positive behavioral change. Now, you're the only one that can assess if the change is positive or not, but hopefully you want it to be positive because you want to attract more people, more followers. You want those who do follow, you want your team members to be excited that you're the leader they work with. Number 3, performance management. An executive coach can support you in developing performance management strategies, like setting clear goals. And I'm saying setting clear goals beyond SMART. We all know they should be SMART goals, but setting the goals that are right for you at the place you're in your life. Providing constructive feedback. How often do you really go out and ask a colleague for constructive feedback? And then when they start to give it to you, you wished you hadn't asked for it because it wasn't what you wanted to hear. Or maybe you're feeling, oh, I'm being too vulnerable with someone who might not have my best interest at heart, whatever the case may be. But in a coaching relationship, constructive feedback actually is like getting a boost to where you want to go, because it's that feedback not intended to hurt you, but to help you open your eyes and see greater opportunities for you to be more. A coach can help you motivate your team, the people you lead, to navigate challenges and optimize performance, personally for yourself and collectively for your team, because that is important. If you have a team and you're the only one that's optimizing and achieving their goals and going forward, what's wrong with that picture? What's wrong with that picture? Your goal as a leader is to bring them along with you so that you have a stronger team. And I love this is accountability and support. Where does your accountability really live? Coaches provide you with a trusted and confidential space for you to really go deep and discuss challenges, dilemmas, and aspirations that maybe you aren't comfortable sharing them with a colleague or a spouse or a family member or friend. Maybe you want that attached but unattached professionally trained coach to create that space for you to really find the best answers for you, because no one knows them better than you. Though you may get assistance and pick up guidance and read some things, but to stay focused on being your best you so that you can show up for others. Yep. And 5, career development. If you're mid-career, late career, early career, and you really want to assess your career goals, am I moving in a direction that's in alignment for what I want for my life? Or creating action plans for advancement if you want to move up. Maybe it's a transition plan. You don't want to just move up, you want to move out to another organization, to your own business. Coaches can help assist you in building strategic networks and navigating career transitions, all while enhancing your executive presence, because you want to move to the next level. Executive coaches leverage their expertise and experience in working with others. The dynamic about working with other people is what you stand to learn from the people you work with and through. Because every time you engage with another human being, it's an opportunity to learn more about you and about other people. And coaching is just one of those platforms to help you as the leader and your team to unlock full potential, develop new perspectives, and achieve higher levels of performance and success. As a woman leader, aspiring, or a woman leader or aspiring leader, I want to, and this is a shout out to the women in particular. I want you to consider this. And that is, women are always challenged as you move up the line of success as a leader. Sylvia Ann Hewlett said that women have made enormous progress on the lower and middle rungs of the career ladder, but are failing to make the leap into senior positions. And it's so true. Just look around at board compositions and the top leadership posts. As women, too often people jump to the conclusion that it's motherhood, it's the mommy track that's getting in the way, that holds women back. Sylvia Ann Hewlett says, the big roadblock is the lack of executive presence. Just consider that. It's not the clothes you wear, it's not your parenting or anything else. It's how you show up. And as women, ladies, too often, we hold back. We second guess ourselves. We allow our inner critics to have far more power than what they should. And that's how these things happen. And we find ourselves in these places of thinking we're not good enough. Oh, I shouldn't pursue that next promotion. Oh, let me not leave my job because I need that security in my paycheck. Oh, what will happen to my pension? Dare to dream big dreams. And if that C-suite level is where you want to go after it. If you just want to get to the upper tiers, if you want to be an executive director of a nonprofit, if you want to be the principal of a school, whatever the case may be, it requires leadership. And when you're in that leadership role, as you develop your executive presence, it's going to make you an even better leader. How do I know? I've lived it. How do I know? I've witnessed it through my clients. How do I know? I've researched and studied it and continue to. It's not about what people see on the outside. I mean, we all have a visual, and if you're really on that path to develop develop yourself as a leader, you always want to look presentable. And what does presentable mean? And if you have presence enough of self, it's less about what you look like when you show up than what comes out of your mouth, what your demeanor reflects. That's what you want to have show up and be the imprint that you leave with other people. Mm-hmm. And so I hope that you've enjoyed our little series on executive presence and that you've gleaned something from it. And you can always go back and catch the replays that are found now on our YouTube channel, but give us a minute. It takes a day or so. I don't know how to do it, and I'm at the mercy of others who do know how to do it. However, they're out there. If you want them right away, you can go to winwinwomen.tv network and find them. And today's episode will be up in a day or two. We like to record them so that you can go back. I've had people say, oh yeah, I drove from Maryland to North Carolina. I just listened to podcasts one after another, and was just fed all the way going down the road. Ladies and gentlemen, I just have to tell you, none of this would be possible without the team beside me. They are the steam of Dr. Helen Speaks, helping to move us forward every day, every Tuesday, 1:00 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time, for you. And our purpose is to bring you insightful and intriguing information to help you level up your leadership. What keeps you moving forward from here to what's next? Dr. Helen Speaks. Join us live. Share it with your friends. Be a part of our community. We welcome each and every one of you to come and experience life and leadership with us.